Hey YouTube, Mark with Ultimate RC. I've got the Eflite P51 Mustang here. We're gonna do, this is the second flight series. I'm gonna just practice some touch and goes. I just wanted to showcase how well this plane actually handles for a Mustang. It's billed as one of the easiest to fly Mustangs, and at this point I would have to agree with that assessment. It's easy to take off, it's easy to land for a Mustang and a tail dragger, I should say. That caveat, it's still a tail dragger, but for a Mustang, this plane is a lot easier to deal with than any other Mustang I've had. Alright, so we'll see if we can get a flight up here. I kind of want to demonstrate how nice this taxis and takes off and lands in regards to a warbird, and specifically a Mustang. Those can be notoriously the hardest to fly. We've actually gone to no wind here, and that is probably actually a little bit of a detriment because I don't have the wind to straighten the tail if it was coming straight down the runway. I hit a bump. Let's restart here. Because now this plane's going to prove me wrong. Let's try to do this again. All right, well, that was a little more adventurous than some of my other takeoffs. I'm gonna bring it back around here. Bring it right down the runway. I'm gonna come around to the right. See if we gain a little bit better spot for pictures here. I don't know how this is going to turn out. The cloud cover rolled in here in the last half hour or so. But one of the few days that I've been able to fly, so you go and do it. I'm going to go down with it. I'm in high rates right now. Coming back down. All right. We're gonna see if I can shoot an approach through the hole between the tree and the trailer here so that we stay on this side. I haven't done that yet with this plane, but it flies pretty good. So we'll bring it around. We'll see if we can practice some touch and goes with this. Of course, I say that, and then I had part-timer move the car to this side of the parking lot because I didn't want to hit it. And now I'm going to land over here. That doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Not bad. I think we'll move over to the other side with this. We'll do a few more touch and goes here with it. Not an approach I've been able to master with the 1.5 yet. So I mean, this plane is night and day difference compared to that. The 1.5 is still a great flying plane. It's just, it's hard to land on the pavement without doing something about the tires. And we'll turn to the right. We're going to come, actually we'll come right back around, go right back down the runway and set up for another approach. Not my normal approach, but this plane handles so well. I don't mind doing some sort of unorthodox approach, if you will, with this plane. Because it just handles so well. Alright, we'll do part-time some favors and just do a straight pattern here this time. Should probably be really happy about that. Hopefully part-timer is able to track this. I don't know how well this will show up even with my new headgear. I do have a zoom in it, but it's only a 2x zoom. Just like that. This plane is just so docile compared to any other Mustang that I've flown. It really flies like a dream. Kind of wish I would have bought this a long time ago. But I do like this livery better than the June Nights. The June Nights was okay, but I do like this better, and that was part of it. Of course, this has telemetry, and it looks like I'm getting a little low, so we'll bring this in. Actually, we'll go around. See if I can concentrate on the landing this time. Cut some throttle to lose some altitude here, keep the nose pointed down. We're bringing landing flaps. Bring a little more power back in now. And just like that, I mean, I've never had such uneventful landings with a Mustang before. Even for a lot of my other tail draggers, this plane does really, really well. So, highly recommend it. We'll get some more flights with this on hopefully a nice sunny day. But I do appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe. Oh, also, I am going to put some extra video on the end of this in regards to some tips about putting this plane together. Generally, it's pretty easy. But Mustangs, as far as any Mustang model, can be a little bit different or difficult to deal with because of the way the wing's structured with the air scoop underneath the fuselage there. So I'll put that at the end. Check that out just for some tips. Again, like and subscribe, hit the bell. Thanks again for watching, YouTube. Hey YouTube, Mark with Ultimate RC. Just want to do a couple of quick pointers here when you're setting up your P51 Mustang 1.2 meter, the Eflite Cripes Almighty III. This is after Major George E. Purdy. If I remember right, he is the Mustang pilot with the most decorated kills from World War II, and this is after his plane. But generally, this is a pretty easy model to do. But the one thing I did want to show you is how to, a little trick to put this wing assembly on, because you have to feed these wires through. What I actually did, you kind of see it in there, is I've taped them together. because the hole that this goes through is not too big. The other thing is, if you've ever put a Mustang together before, because of the engine cowling, air intake, I would assume that's for, creates the unique way that you put the wing on. You kind of have to shove it up in there. I'll do that here in a second. But when you get this from the factory, these are all tied up with a zip tie. These short leads you can probably get out and leave everything in the zip tie, but they're not long enough. So you're going to have to undo that. Make sure you get most of your wires in there. And then just to make this easier, I took some tape, just some Scotch tape, and taped it around at the base at the connector. So now I've got a pretty nice, easy, long feed for the three. You've got your flaps, you've got your gear, and it looks like my tape job, I undid my aileron. So maybe what I'll do is I'm going to retape that. So probably a good thing that I took this back apart and decided to tape this, because I would have realized when I started putting together I was missing a lead. The other thing you could probably do is like some sort of twisty tie or something like that. I didn't have any of those down here in the layer. That's what part-timer calls my messy workshop here. And we'll just retape this. Right now, that's going to make it a little bit easier to grab all of this stuff and to put it through that small hole. Also, when you're putting this in, try to make sure that you don't pinch any of these wires here. So sometimes it can take a couple of tries to do this, but it's going to be a lot harder if you don't do something so you can grab these all at once. So pretty simply put, let's get that in there like that. I'm going to take these then. Actually, let me try this again. Grab that like that. So now I can grab these, stick them through the hole, slide this in here, there. The P51s always can be just a bit touchy getting the wing on. Some of them are harder to do than the other. The arrows you see right back there, which is one of the reasons why I bought this, was from crashing that. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending upon how you want to look at it, that was off camera. I'm sure would have made a great video because it came straight down in the parking lot. I think I lost radio reception. It's the only thing I can think of. But probably fixable. At some point I probably will fix it. But this is supposed to be a much better flying Mustang right out of the box. Generally, I think considered as probably one of the best flying Mustangs, and so I figured Horizon had a sale over the holidays for their members. I got 20% off on this plane, so it was hard to pass it up at that point. Pulled the trigger, and I essentially now have their entire stable of 1.2 Warbirds. Now, this is something I want to show you in there. Make sure you get your wires away from the wing down there, so that they don't get pinched. And the hole's not very big, so that can be a challenge. There, I think I've got most of those out. one there might be there, so that's free. It's the only one that concerns me. But just be careful of that so that you're not pinching them before you put them together. Just use a screwdriver here. There. Okay, so those are all free. That's great. So I just wanted to show that, and you can see how it kind of presses in a lot nicer there. So I'm going to get the rest of this assembled. I don't think this plane is going to have any other surprises, but I kind of wanted to show that just for anyone that's not put a Mustang together before. This makes life just a tad bit easier. So thanks again for watching, YouTube. Mark with Ultimate RC.